Hola, and we are live. I hope you're all doing well tonight. Sorry I started a bit late. Yeah, some issues. But it's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you could all make it. Tonight's going to be a good one again because we're doing part 2 of the guy we showed last night, Voice of Reason. Not that he has any reason to voice because he literally showed flat last night. How you doing, PJ?
Yeah, I'm good. That's exactly what I was just about to say. I was just wondering, just waiting to see if the guy does a little reveal tonight to see if he's actually a flat earther. That kind of seems to be what the proof he was given.
Yeah, I almost actually changed the stream now to David McKeegan, guys, because he brought out a video like 2 hours ago or something on relative directions on a ball. Well, as usual, contradicts himself and actually debunks his own arguments. So we'll see how that pans out. Maybe if we finish with this early enough and there's still time, we can do that because he's only got like 5-minute video, so it's quick. And I can debunk it literally in like one Google search in like 30 seconds. So yeah. But yeah, guys, glad you could all make it. Thank you for coming. I don't know where Michael is tonight. Maybe he's sleeping. Let's hope he gets some good rest. Anyway, globies don't understand stars are FE proof. So yes, 79% say yes, they do understand it's FE proof. They just decide to ignore it, obviously. And no, they don't understand, 21%. I think it's half and half. Half of them do understand, but they choose to be in their religion, so they ignore it. And the other half are just simply too dumb to understand. That's what I think.
That's good. Round two.
Yeah, so we got Jimmy J in. Thank you for coming. PJ Cruikshank, the Shankinator. Alan Norstrand. Professor Harvester, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Moxie, thank you for coming. Bot Better Than Gold. Hey. And then we got, who else? Unidrock, Ryan Nated. Good thing to see you all here. I'm really, really appreciative of you all being here. And Television, glad you could make it. So, I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Last night was quite a doozy with him because he literally showed us flat all the time while trying to claim curve. Well, he's got a second part out. This one is on stars, and I do see he's got another one out, part 3. I think that one's on the moon, but I don't think I'm doing that one tomorrow. Tomorrow I think we're going to be doing Earth rotation, Coriolis. Because I have been having some people even emailing me and asking, can we please do things on Earth rotation? Today I did actually do a demonstration for that stream before I even saw the email, funny enough. So I think tomorrow night we'll do that stream, and then, because remember, tomorrow night I was supposed to debate one of FTFE's subscribers or something, but he just never returned back to me. So sorry, there's probably no debate, and if that, then we'll do the Coriolis tomorrow night. Okay, are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Let's do this. Hey Jeff, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Let's do this, guys.
This is part 2 of a series called Proving the Earth is Not Flat. In this series, I intend to demonstrate how anyone can prove to themselves, using simple observations and experiments, that the Earth is not flat.
I just have to point out, guys, just like yesterday when he used the CGI image of the globe, he doesn't realize he's using CGI composites from the so-called ISS that we've also debunked with looping stars and stuff. Remember that? So he thinks by showing CGI on the screen as actual real things, it's somehow debunking a flat Earth, which is really, really alarming, to say the least. Taylor, you just woke up now? What time is it there by you, mate?
He's at the same time as me.
Oh man. Let's just hope this guy's got better arguments tonight than he did with part 1.
A spinning and moving sphere. In this part, we will look to the stars. But first, to understand the shape and movements of the Earth, we need to understand how it works within the context of the solar system and the distant stars that surround it.
I love all the cartoons. But yeah, remember, scale. That's why they can't show actual photo or video of this. Because when they do try, like the Artemis one, they have very many discrepancies that, like, the Earth is going through the moon, or the everything's wrong. It's just showing rotor-trimmed areas. Then it doesn't decide which side it wants to come out of, the dark side or the light side. Or how about the angular size changes keep changing? it's sad. So yeah, when they do try and show so-called video footage, it's usually shown to be faked. So I would understand why they only show cartoons, because it's much easier just to show cartoons to a very gullible audience anyway, because they just accept it because they were indoctrinated. So they don't really need to go out of their way to fake it that much. So it's really, for them, what's the use of faking it too much? Yeah, Artemis. It's definitely just Artemis 1, guys. I'm actually working on a cartoon about it. So stay tuned about that. I'm doing a cartoon on Artemis 1. I think it's going to be epic. Oh, yeah.
The nature of the Earth, solar system, and stars took many centuries to figure out.
Hey, Dustin Burns. Thank you for coming. Good to see you, mate. Glad you can make it. Let's see who the people are that they are talking about.
The Greek mathematician Pythagoras was the first to propose that the Earth was a sphere in the 6th century BCE, but it wasn't accepted by most of the world until the Middle Ages, between the 5th and 15th centuries.
Hey, Dr. Bass Ackwards, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yep, they ignore all the evidence that shows it fake because they need it to be real in their mind. Hey, Flat Sabbath, thank you for coming. Glad you can make it.
So, flat earthers, you are only about 600 years behind the curve.
We're not. It's always been flat, and every single cosmology through history has shown it to be flat. Your cosmology is only, what, 500 years old? So, 500, 600 years old, as he says. Which one do you think is going to be more likely? The one that's always been shown to be flat and enclosed Earth through cosmologies and generations of generations without people actually being able to communicate with each other on this? Have you found that odd? That you get different cosmologies throughout history that give depict the same kind of reality, and yet they've never ever met each other? That's odd, don't you think? That would tell you they saw the same things, they've observed the same things.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's like all different sorts of religions and stuff like that. People from the past that have got different types of gods and that, but the cosmology of it is very similar, and it's all kind of based on a flat Earth. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, it seems to me there's something in that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, INFE, thank you for coming. And Gary Y. Benga, glad you could make it, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. Think about the logic of this. You have 8 different type of civilizations. Never ever met each other, ever. But yet their cosmologies all say domed, enclosed, flat Earth, with the stars and luminaries revolving around us on a stationary plane. Now, do you think that's just a coincidence? Or is that just some fabricated, made-up history? No, it's shown through archives and stuff. It's been that way forever. Now, you get to the last 600 years where, how can I put this? Testicle-loving cultists, yeah, they got some kind of weird obsession with spheres. Maybe their balls weren't hung enough or something.
Here's my.
Hey, good to see you, Khan.
I was eating my tea, I was running late.
No stress. I was just starting a bit late. Just as I wanted to put the Jenny on, my oldest daughter started throwing up everywhere. So I first had to clean up, and that's why I was a bit late. Yeah, no, she's fine now.
She running all over and spewing everywhere, so it's not just in one place.
No, it's everywhere. it's like go to the bath. The thing is, last night my son threw up on our duvet. So my wife washed it today. It's clean. And my daughter was lying there. She just threw up on it again. and then running to the bathroom also just everywhere. So yeah, unfortunately, that's just one of those things.
First time I were ever left alone with my son before there. They were just running around spewing everywhere, and I was like, whoa, I can't cope with this, it stinks. You know what I mean? It was horrible, and I was like, what do I do? I just sat holding them like.
Yeah, I had my daughter puke in my mouth and everything when she was a baby. It's awful.
But yeah, at least they're okay. The stream is on now. I got the generator running, so that's good. But yeah, what do we think about the cosmologies? Michael, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, the cosmologies in history, they've never ever met each other, and they say they have the same cosmological observations and stories. Yet you get a cult belief that came out, aka the Jesuits, the Masons, that decided, no, let's be opposite to every cosmology in history and state it's a ball, and every evidence we're going to present cannot be observed or proven.
Yes, so the just lights in the sky, but if you go to like Hebrew scriptures or Christian scriptures, that they talk about lights in the sky being angels, and I think back then they knew what everything was. That's why they weren't that fussed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been twisted in modern day times to be balls of gas or planets. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that it makes more sense that they would know a bit more than us because they were closer to the time that it happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They were closer to God. You know what I mean? Back in Hebrew times, people were actually speaking to God. God don't speak to anybody now.
Exactly.
Yeah, hey Mojo Shop, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Dr. Basago says, and they base their gas planet claim on. Obviously, they can't observe that or acquire that data from here on Earth. Did they just start saying that after they pretended to fly anal probes past them? They use what today called spectroscopy. I mean, I use spectroscopy every day at work, so, and I know it needs to be contained to use it. I literally have to have it in my spectrometer. My spectrometer literally works in a casing, and it needs to be dark around it. Otherwise, it can't take the actual photos in the different wavelengths to figure out which pigments need to be mixed for the colors. It's the same with the spectroscopy when they look into space or whatever. They're looking through gas. The spectrometer, what they're using, is contained. And between them and the so-called planets, there is gas in between. So they can't really validate what they're claiming because they're looking through a medium. It's all just poppycock. It's literally just them having a belief and then affirming the consequent belief to say, oh, the planets are great balls of gases, you know, that kind of thing. It's actually insanity.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but no one can get to these things to have a claim of what they are. You know what I mean? I know that people think these days that we can go to space and they can land on the moon. But even if you could go to space and land on the moon, nobody's ever been to a star to claim that it can be something solid or a ball of gas or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, real nice, the science guy. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Moxie says someone's been fiddling with the settings on the lights tonight. Jupiter is beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad you're catching it. You're catching on. Exactly, Taylor. Moxie's catching on. Jupiter is not a planet. Ooh. He called Jupiter light. Exactly. So let's carry on with the video, guys.
And, you know, scriptures warn about looking at these things, and you know, they do look pretty, and people. I know from experience, when you start looking at these things, you start thinking strange things, and it warns you in scriptures about looking at these things and worshipping them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're enigmatic, because we don't know much about them. It's enigmatic, isn't it? So we're bound to be intrigued by them.
Hey, Paradox and Oxide, good to see you. Thank you for coming. You guys ready to go on?
Yeah, mate.
Yes, sir.
On the surface of the Earth, we are limited to seeing it from our perspective. Or at least we were back then.
We still
So
are.
when our perspective is limited, scientists create conceptual models and test them against observations.
Ah.
If a model cannot explain all observations and experiments, you either modify the model until everything fits, or throw out the model and start over.
Ooh, then why do you still have a globe model? Because the globe models keep showing contradiction after contradiction after contradiction. That's why they have so many globe models. Remember, guys, plural, not singular. There's no one globe model.
But rather than throw a model out because it don't fit, they'd rather make stuff up.
Like gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't get Newtonian gravity to work because it couldn't be even hypothesized and experimented. They went on
Exactly.
to create
And-
Einsteinian.
Yeah, exactly. Everyday life proves mass don't attract mass.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get attracted to buses when we walk next to them, do we?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, when last have you driven a bicycle again next to a stationary bus and saw you got sucked to the side of the bus?
Exactly. If mass attracted mass, I'd be stuck to the floor now. And
I mean,
If anything, it's quite the opposite. Like if you drop two stones together, they'll bounce apart. It repels mass.
obviously they're going to say, oh, but Earth's mass is the greatest mass, so obviously you don't understand. Cavendish.
if that's the case, and however do they dispute Earth to do a test?
They can't. They
Yeah.
can't. That's why it's not science, but yet they claim science.
Exactly.
Hey, Owen, thank you for coming. Like Cavendish,
So
when
that-
they claim Cavendish, it's simply just torque vectoring. It's because the
Exactly.
density of the masses, not because of gravity. It's just measuring torque due to torsion twist, and they usually take that and they hijack it and call it now measuring the density of Earth, therefore mass attracting mass. No, there's no mass attracting mass. Literally, there's no mass attracting mass. So these people are.
Yeah, and that's why they've had to take it into 4D space, because they've had to take it somewhere where you can't go and physically prove it for yourself, so you just have to believe it.
That's true. Yeah, it's sad actually.
I mean, if you think about it, right, how many people have supposedly been to space? Couple of hundred?
20 odd. I think, oh no.
Not
like,
even 100. Under 100, by the way.
Under 100. Well, they're only people who've ever been to that place where they can they can sell the Earth's a ball or stars as
Yeah.
star, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're only people that can say, and the liars.
Yeah, I just got to quickly comment here to Gary. Just before you got to Gary, I was saying Dave McKeegan just released a video out trying to explain relative up and down on the globe. He literally debunked himself in the first 30 seconds to 1 minute. And contradicted himself and even stuck a straw man in there. I commented on him on my Spraymate account and told him that. And while the trolls all over me, and as usual, "Oh, I'm too scared to debate." And I said, okay, come on my channel. Then they say I'm making excuses not to debate them. You know the usual
Does it-
spiel. So anyway, yeah.
Down in a blue.
So anyway, guys, if we finish this video and there's still time, maybe we can go through that latest video, because his latest video is literally like 5 minutes long.
Can you remember back in the day where if you refused to debate a globe Earth, you'd lost?
Oh yeah,
You know, like, if you don't debate me, you've lost.
yeah. Now it's a miracle if they actually stick to them coming to debate, because they literally go and make claims and then cower in fear when you say, okay, fine, then come and debate me. They make excuse after excuse not to debate. It's sad. I mean, even Dave McKeegan's too scared to debate me, guys. He was brave enough to go on FTFE's show when I was debating him to try and test me out. I showed him to be kind of, yeah, he didn't know which way to turn. I ended up using his own profession against him. And when I said, okay, so when you're going to come debate me, his excuse was, I must present him a flat earth model.
Yeah.
That was his excuse. And as we all know, Professor Dave is still too scared to come debate me.
Did you ask him to provide his model first?
No, I didn't ask any model. I just told him to come and debate. I didn't even give him what he wants to debate on.
I know, like, but if he's demanding a model of you, then you should at least see his model first before you provide.
Yeah, but I don't see the reason in debating models though.
Well, neither do I.
That's why they sit in the problem they do, because they just believe models to be real.
Well, they don't know what a model is to start with, like, you know what I mean? They don't understand what a model is. But if they're going to be saying to you, show me your model, then yeah, fair enough, I will.
Yeah.
Provide that first, because you're in the positive player.
Hey, Yannick Dazanga, good to see you. Thank you for coming. But like I said, I don't really care about the models. That's the whole reason the globe's sitting in the position they do, because they're trying to affirm their models as proof of reality when they can't demonstrate any of it.
I mean, I'll go one step further than you. I don't care about debating the globe.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
But like, if you are going to deal with them, you've got to deal with them at that level, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no proving anything with a model. I mean, a model is a nice thing to look at or whatever. It's good to, but there's no proving anything with a model. It's all speculation.
Hey, Mr. Obvious, good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Well, I mean, what sort of claims have you heard for a model? Other maps, pictures from satellites, you know, all these things that have been told are models aren't even models anyway. I mean, do they think that this little plastic spinning ball thing in a classroom is a model? Because it's not. It's just.
Yep, exactly.
It's just something that a teacher can use so they can show you all maps quick without going through pages and pages. You know what I mean? That's what all a spinning globe is in the classroom.
Yeah. Hi, Tent Man. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, that at the end of the day, but that's all they have is their belief in a model and straw manning. That's why when they say, oh, but on a flat earth it should be this way, they're trying to create a model to debunk.
Yeah.
They don't understand the concept of a model, actually.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
when somebody says to you, show me model, and we'll debate about models, blah, 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 said to them, show me your model first, and then if you've got positive claim, you live on a globe there, you show me your globe model, then I'll take it to that.
Yeah. Hey, Jolly Man, thank you for coming. Yep, that's all it is, just a model, based on belief without any validation whatsoever.
The prevailing model in the Middle Ages was the geocentric model, with the spherical Earth at the center of everything, and the sun, moon, and stars revolving around us.
Thing is, you still get a lot of geocentric sphere believers today. Really odd. And their models, predictions, you could say, still works out perfectly. I mean, I don't know how to understand how the globe believers don't understand. All their so-called cycles have been observed for thousands and thousands of years, even before their belief of a ball testicle floating in space was even derived. And they got it right for seasons and eclipses and all that. It's called the solar cycles. But these guys do not get it. They just come and make claims. Oh, but without the globe, we can predict everything. But you guys don't understand. You just need the globe. Otherwise, you can't predict anything. Yeah, so tell that to the thousands and thousands of years predating your testicle floating in space, predicting all these things. That used flat earth cosmology.
Space ballad.
Yeah. It's a space testy, that's all it is.
And to the casual observer, from our perspective, that is what it looks like. But while the model explained many observations, it failed to adequately explain some of them. Most notably, the apparent retrograde motions of the planets.
Hey Benton, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. I'm glad you enjoy the work, mate. Okay, retrograde motions. You do know that your Newtonian couldn't explain retrograde motions. That's why they had to modify it, and hence Einstein. Now you guys sitting with the three-body problem. So hence now why van der Linde is pushing up entropic gravity. And now they're pushing quantum mechanics. Why is that? Oh, I know, because you guys don't have a working model. Because every time you get to a place that you have to modify it to suit your narrative. That's why they don't know what gravity is. Not because they don't understand it, it's because it's made up bullshit. And every time they find a loophole, they have to try and figure out something else. Hence, quantum foam or dark matter. You know what I mean? It's literally idiotic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, take it to somewhere where nobody can go, where it's all theoretical, right? And people just laugh it up.
It's the magical glue that holds everything together, isn't it? The
Yeah.
bonding agent that holds the whole heliocentric thing together.
With a magical number.
Well,
The magical speed.
Like we were saying, like, you'll go back to ancient Hebrews and tell them that you're going to go to that place that they're looking at up in the sky, but they'd laugh at you.
Exactly. Hey Eduardo, thank you for coming. He says the retrograde motion is perfectly explained by the heliocentric model with Newtonian gravity. Is that so?
Well,
You
sorry,
do-
barring the fact that we don't live in Newtonian
Sorry,
gravity.
is this the same guy that literally said 4,000 kilometers of horizontal surface distance measurement is curved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and did that theory to be subscribed to himself.
Does he know why? Does he know why they had to work? Why Einstein had to make Einsteinian gravity? It's because of the planet's problems with Newtonian gravity. It's not accurate on a planetary scale.
Listen, Fats, this is the guy who thinks triangles can add up to more than 180. Triangle, triangle, that's three angles. Yeah? Angles need straight lines, triangles need straight lines. There's no adding up to more than 180. It's woo.
Sounds like pseudo-gravity finally pooped out, according to Rafla. Exactly. Yes, why down, Dustin Burns? Because it's denser. You picked something up. It seeks equilibrium. Remember when I say pressure, the grass does not have enough pressure to support the object, hence down, but that's not the discussion at the moment.
See that comment, right? We know, right? This is the problem with society these days, right? We know everything. We think we know what stars are, blah, blah, blah. And fact is, all these people that say we know, don't know. They're just being told.
Okay, but I'm going to ask Dustin Burns quickly. He says they know why down. Okay. What is down on your globe? You do know your globe doesn't have a down. There's no down or up on your globe. You know why that would be? Let's say someone in Egypt or in England or whatever. They are antipodal to someone in Australia, correct? So that means feet to feet. Now, if I throw a ball up in England, is that going up or down from the guy in antipodal to you in Australia? That would be going down from him, correct? While it's going up from you. So that's going opposite. So let's take the same argument and dig a hole through the center of your globe. You jump through it, feet first. Are you going to come out feet first on the other side, hence landing on your head? Or are you going to come up head first, landing on your feet? I'd like to know that answer.
Andrew says, to addressing me, spherical triangles also have three angles. No, they don't.
Angles is only two straight lines to a vertex. That's an angle.
You can't have a spherical triangle. It's rubbish, man. Absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
Angled straight lines.
Do they know?
Simple as that.
Do they know even?
Intersect.
Do they know even spherical triangles is 180 degrees inside the circumference of a circle?
Wow.
They ignore that.
It's just rubbish. You have to
Copernicus.
deny definitions of things. You have to deny your own senses. You have to deny observations. You know, you have to deny everything to believe you live on a ball.
Mm-hmm.
They have to change definitions of things as well, just to fit their narrative.
Identification. He says Biden falls upstairs. Yeah, so he defies gravity, guys. He falls upstairs.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, Debatable D, thank you for coming. He says the stupid question, down is towards center of mass. So there's no down on your globe then, because your down in England is a different down to someone in Australia, because it would be up to him and down from you. Do you understand that? So again,
if I'm in England and down the centre of mass is down to my feet, but in Australia, down to their feet is opposite to down to my feet.
yeah, exactly.
And on the side of the globe, like quarter of the way around, is perpendicular. You know what I mean? So there is no down, there is no up on a globe.
Let's do this quickly.
But Andrew, there's no straight lines on a sphere because it's a sphere.
The only
You can't have
time
a straight line across the surface of a sphere.
the only time they can have a straight line,
It's curved.
the only time they can have a straight line is a tangent. And a tangent unfortunately cannot happen because they have only refracted rays. So otherwise curved.
It's ridiculous to even claim a
Yep.
straight line on a sphere. I mean, come on, Andrew.
Okay, here we go. I wonder if there's a... Yeah, let's put an arrow. This is supposed to be down to the bloke in England, correct? Now, this is the down to someone in Australia. Now, let's make you fall through the earth. You going down. Down, 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 down. You've figured out how to dig a hole right through your ball earth. Are you going to come out the same way you jumped in? So let's say this is your feet. Are you going to come out feet first and then fall back through and back through? You know, like an infinite loop. Just carry on falling back. Head first, feet first. Head first, feet first. Is that what would happen on your globe?
One second flat side. Andrew again. They're straight lines across the surface of a sphere. Surface of a sphere is curved.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Face Reality, thank you for
How
coming.
can you have a straight line on a curved surface?
You don't.
It's curved.
You don't.
Curved.
Why do you think when they do celestial navigation, they duplicate their elevation angle to the center of the Earth? Because they cannot have the angle measurement on a curved surface. So they have to make it to the equatorial plane. Let's do it this way. This is their so-called elevation angle. Okay? This is very simple stuff, guys. Okay, you see that's a 90-degree angle, but this is the elevation angle, meaning it's not on the ground. It's in free space. You've taken an angular measurement. How do you think they correctify this to make it an angle? Oh, wait. They duplicate it to the center of Earth on the equatorial plane. Get it? So they take this angle.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
I lost his on the phone, sorry.
So tomorrow what time?
Yeah.
See, now all they've done is they've duplicated that angle. So there, they can say, look, it's an actual angle reading, but they just duplicate it to the center of Earth so they can get the angle reading, because you cannot have it on a spherical surface. So they have to put it into the center. Now, this angular reading that they're putting is the actual angle reading to the celestial sphere, the field of view dome, like I've explained many streams already. It's all optical, and because they have a belief, they just duplicate it to the center of the Earth. Simple as that. Does that make sense? So again, Dustin Burns, what do you think when I said center of mass? What is mass to start off with? Because you do know it has the same definition of inertia. But that's not the point. I asked you a simple question. What would happen if you fall through your Earth? Are you just going to fall? If you're jumping in the hole from England and you jump feet first, are you going to come out feet first in Australia or whatever is underneath you? Or head first? What's going to happen? Or are you just gonna just fall around back through again, and in an infinite loop, falling up and down? I guess no answer. Okay, let's get back to the video. He's kind of got us off track.
Solve that problem by realizing that the sun is the center of the system, not the Earth. And the heliocentric model still works to this day to perfectly explain all observations, measurements, and experiments.
And so did the flat Earth geocentric models for centuries. Which the new total recall has seen related to your question. Yeah, debatable D. Just because total recall has that scene related to it doesn't make it actual fact. I asked him what would be based on down on his globe in context. Would he come up and down, or would he just be flipped around?
When you asked that question, Flats, I did actually think about that movie. Because they have like I don't know if you've seen it.
They have an anti-gravity warp or something that literally flicks the poles around.
It spins round, goes up the other way, yeah.
They just magically other way around.
Well, let's talk about that film, shall we? A dome with sealed in atmosphere, and when it gets broke and Schwarzenegger goes outside it and his eyes are getting sucked out in his head.
No, sorry.
Hey, Lumpy Gas and Vacuum, thank you for coming. No, where's my gas? So yeah, it's actually insanity, and it's sad that these guys make claims that only the heliocentric model makes predictions like this. Like I said, for thousands of years before this dingleberry testicle thing ever existed, they were doing predictions, and it worked.
Also, the ultimate test of any scientific model is its ability to predict future events.
That's false. Hey Dala, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Obviously, you've never heard of the Soros cycles before. Oh wait, your globe is based on it, which is based on geocentric flat model. Oh wow. That's a shame.
Using the heliocentric model, we can accurately predict lunar and solar eclipses, conjunctions, planetary alignments, and many other phenomena.
The Soros series lasts between 1,226 and 1,550 years and comprises 69 to 87 eclipses. As one series ends, another is born. On average, 42 series are running in parallel at a given time. When was the Soros cycle invented? Well, the name Soros, Greek, was applied to the eclipses cycle by Edmund Halley in 1686, who took it from the Suda, a Byzantine lexicon of the 11th century. So it's just a cycle observed for centuries.
Ancient Babylon.
Yep. Hey Adam Meekin, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, it's all just based on observations through centuries of observing the sky. Now, they take this and they base their whole model on it. One of their models, because remember, they don't have a model, they have models, plural. And they say, look, it predicts everything. No, they took the data from these cycles and warped it around their globe to make it seem that their globe is predicting it. You can make a donut predict the same things if you wanted to. If you just plotted the same data in, made your arbitrary points, you would get exactly the same outcome because the data is already there. So it's very, very dishonest of them to say, oh, only the heliocentric model can predict this thing.
Yeah.
Down to the minute or second. This is how real science works.
What?
No.
What science? What science? Did he say science?
Yeah.
Let's go back.
They usually throw that word about a little bit.
But I didn't hear him give a hypothesis or anything yet. Let's quickly go back. I want to hear if he says anything scientific.
Predict future events. Using the heliocentric model, we can accurately predict lunar and solar eclipses, conjunctions, planetary alignments, and many other phenomena, down to the minute or second. This is how real science works.
No, that's not science. That's definitely not science. It's like saying an astrologer or a fortune teller predicts the future and they get it right, therefore it's now scientific. No, that's not science. That's pseudoscience, because you are just claiming it to be scientific without any scientific validation. Where's your hypothesis? There's no manipulation of the IV. You're literally just saying, this date there will be a solar eclipse, so therefore my prediction is scientific. No, mate.
Hold on, I've got something silly to bring up.
Yeah.
Eduardo, Flatzoid's perspective, does the stellar cycle have an explanation for the cycles?
I just explained it.
Cycles are the explanation, mate.
Yeah, he's literally put it in his own statement. Cycle.
He's not answering his own question. That is the answer. It happens in a cycle, mate.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's sad.
But that's what they do. They start off with a conclusion, and then have to get the answer, work the answer in that in there. Do you know what I mean? It's speculating all the time.
They come to flat earthers thinking they're smarter than you, and then the comments prove that they're far less smarter than most people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens.
Yep.
No flat Earth model has ever been able to explain all astronomical observations, let alone make accurate predictions.
Hence the Soros cycle. Okay. The same model data points that your model uses. One of your models, not your model. Because there is no actual globe model. Hey Von Neumann, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you can make it. Yeah, exactly. INFE, he has, if you got, INFE, I don't think, if you'll be able to stick your link in, I'm not sure. Or stick it in the Discord, and then we can stick it in here. Be great. Because, yeah.
I'll get it.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Then please do subscribe to INFE's channel, guys. Red Shadows. Yeah. Weird that, you know, almost like dust in the air. Ooh. Blood moons are actually not for a globe Earth, guys.
I challenge any flat earther to use your model to predict the next lunar eclipse.
Okay, go to INFE's channel, and you see on the AE map they have the cycles and seasons, which shows when the what's the name?
I'm stuck in really, Michael.
There we go. Thanks, PJ.
Have you bet me to it?
Yeah, I got it in.
Oh, I haven't even subscribed. Can you believe it? I'm subscribed on my other channel. There we go, subscribed. There we go. Day, night, math, earth, sun, moon. Great conjunction, December, satellite collision. Planets align in order. Ooh, vernal equinox. Moon last quarter of February. And this looks kind of everything on a AE model.
INFE is right. Globers speak from ignorance.
Definitely.
Aye.
That's all they speak from.
Look at this. This is quite interesting. I think we should go through this sometime. I think it's a shame that you get such little views, mate.
Get Ian on. Are you willing to come on?
Yeah.
Ian?
Ian, would you like to come on for a show sometime and present some of your work? It would be awesome. And guys, if you can, please subscribe to Ian. Let's see if we can get him at least to 500.
Yeah, I'll subscribe.
That'll be awesome. Okay, let's do this again.
So let's see how our view of the stars fits with the heliocentric model, and compare it to the flat Earth model. In the heliocentric model, the Earth spins on its axis.
Wait. Didn't he just say we don't actually provide a model? Then how does he say, how can you compare it to a flat Earth model? He's contradicting his own statement then. Face Reality, $10 super chat. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate the support. You are really one of the lifebloods of this channel.
you've got to provide a model in order to compare models.
Exactly. Anyone believing that people are lying, diagonal, antipodal, upside down, and perpendicular from each other in reality is beyond comprehension of stupidity and delusion of the highest order. I 100% concur. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat again, and I definitely agree with you. It's insanity, and that's why they cannot actually understand, cannot answer us with their paradox. If you fall through Earth, are you going feet first when you come out the other side, or head first? Hey, Two Wolves, good to see you. Thank you for coming.
They don't want to address it, same way as why can't you show airplanes going upside down and these satellites that take photos. They've managed to take all these photos of Google Earth, these satellites, show us airplanes upside down in Australia.
But I mean, think what's interesting. We've never been able to actually take video footage or photos of a satellite going in front of the moon. But there's supposedly thousands and thousands of satellites.
Yeah. 25,000 or something meant to be cycling up there.
I mean, that alone should be giving hectic blockouts from the moon because there's so much space debris.
Mm-hmm.
And now they can say, oh, but the angular size. Okay, but you can use that same little telescope of yours to claim to see Jupiter or to see Pluto. You know what I'm saying? So why can't you see a satellite that's maybe, 1,000 kilometers away from you? Come on. But you can see the moon, which is 243,000 miles away. The Tycho crater, we can see with our bare eyes when we walk outside, but the angular size is too small, according to the distance to angular size measurements. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's once per day. The axis is tilted about 23.5 degrees. And
Satanic number, by the way.
that tilt constantly points in the same direction as the Earth revolves around the Sun once per year.
But you do understand there's things called elliptical orbits in your model? So it's not exactly the same. Does the angle change when you are further away? Yes, it does. So therefore not exactly the same 23 degrees as he's just stated, which just debunked his own ignorance.
This tilt is the cause of our seasons and the seasonal variation in the length of daylight. The stars around us are very far away, but all the stars we see without powerful telescopes are circling the Milky Way galaxy with us in the same direction and the same speed. So they are essentially stationary from our frame of reference.
Same direction, same speed. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because the thing is, you guys even claim to have a new pole star, hence Polaris. So they don't follow the same direction at same speed. And it's a lot of begging the questions, exactly.
Yeah.
Does Earth orbit Sun on an elliptical orbit?
Yeah, we're on an elliptical orbit.
Then you would feel the speed change.
Exactly.
Especially with an elliptical orbit.
Thank you.
Even with an orbit, yeah, because you would feel acceleration, but especially with elliptical.
I wonder if we can pick it up like this. Earth's speed through space. 67,000 miles per hour. Wow. And
that's rounded up though. It's really 65.
But that is like one vector. I think there's like 4 different vectors, guys. I think you would realize the 4 different vectors, would you not?
Spinning, rotating, orbiting. It's like corkscrewing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's corkscrewing. I wonder if Earth's movement through space. I think we do have a video where they showed the corkscrewing and all that nonsense. Here we go. How Earth really moves through space. They got quite a few different ones now. Hey, MC Scorpio, thank you for coming. Good to see you, mate. George. Oh. Okay. I just want to see. Hi, Quinlan. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh. Vsauce. Oh, Vsauce. Where is oh Vsauce? Okay.
North Pole. The equator.
Music again. Look at that. Spinning, spinning. Look at that. Ooh, ooh. Look at the oscillations. Would that be changing vectors constantly?
Yeah.
So what happens when globers come and tell us you won't feel the movement because it's a constant? It's not a constant.
Did you watch that video that Taboo Conspiracy uploaded, that kryptonite maths, kryptonite physics or something?
Oh yeah, it's actually very good.
It's going through vectors are out. It's impossible to have all these vectors without feeling a change in direction.
Exactly. Now look at this. Now we're having those oscillations while we're moving in that direction, and while we're spinning in another. That's why I said we've got like 4 different vectors at all different speeds.
I've got a question for ballers anyway. How do you know dimensions Venus?
How do they know anything?
That was a guess. I think the dimensions of Venus, wasn't it? Guessing that it's similar size to the Earth as well.
Yeah, television, they're not showing an elliptical there though, but we do have an elliptical orbit. But I think they're not trying to show that, they're just trying to show the movements. Which is actually dishonest, because if they did show the elliptical orbits, it would show you would actually be having even more of a problem.
It is this backdrop of stationary stars we can look to.
Stationary stars. You literally just said it moved 2 seconds ago with us. So it's not stationary, it's moving. We literally look outside. When you use your camera, look at the stars. You see the stars and the moon and sun rotating, don't you? You see them moving across the sky. Vsauce has the IQ of a tomato sauce. Oh man.
Understand the shape and movements of the Earth, as I will explain.
Okay.
In the northern hemisphere, we look at the stars and we see star formations we all recognize, such as the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, and Cassiopeia.
Wow, brilliant.
But in the southern hemisphere...
Sorry, what's a hemisphere again, guys? Would that be begging the question?
I would say
contradiction in terms, wouldn't it?
half of the sphere.
These constellations cannot be seen at all, and different star formations are seen, such as the Southern Cross and Centaurus.
I would think you would see different stars if you're like thousands of miles away from another location. Just like you wouldn't expect to see the same building thousands of miles away. Not because it would be the same building. Let's put it this way. I'm in Limpopo. Would you expect to have my same house shown in Cape Town? No, because it's different locations. So hence different star formations. That's how it works. Yep, tuna sandwich, prof. Oh man.
And some constellations near the celestial equator, such as Orion, can be seen in both hemispheres.
Yeah, because it's closer to one another. Orion is more equator lined, is it not? Yeah. So, making my point. Distance matters, guys.
This makes perfect sense for the spherical Earth.
Why? It makes perfect sense for the flat Earth too. It doesn't matter. The only difference is ours is having them warped by a dome across our sky, where you have yourself warped floor moving around them. It's I don't know. Hey Oz, good to see you. Thank you, go on. Thank you for coming.
Northern observers are looking generally upward toward the North Pole, and southern observers are looking generally downward toward the South Pole and seeing different stars.
Exactly, INFE, and that's why they sit with a conundrum. When they're further away, they have summertime. Usually when you're further away from a heat source, you don't have heat. You have less heat, less radiation.
That's rubbish in it. Then I'm quite close, I would say, to North Pole. I'm closer than you.
Yeah.
And I'm never looking straight up towards it.
Nope. But then again, most of the thing this guy's saying is nonsense.
Oh, ball.
The curvature
Yep.
of the Earth is what blocks the stars of the other hemisphere from view.
Nope. I literally explained it why we don't see, because they ignore things like perspective. Things converge, guys. If an angle is too acute because of the distance, you're not going to see it any longer. Not because of Earth curve, simply because the angle is too acute. I mean, we can demonstrate this over and over. Showing perspective, things converge to the horizon.
But looking at stars in that celestial sphere model.
Yeah.
So,
To illustrate,
celestial sphere model has a flat plane and you're looking at stars.
Mm-hmm.
these blue arrows represent the direction an observer in the north views the stars in the sky. And the red arrows are the direction of the stars viewable by an observer in the south.
And now stick that on a flat Earth, you'll see exactly the same. Does he not get that? Because your view is limited to what you can see. Hence your field of view bubble that you're literally placing around them, mate. That is your, what? Your celestial sphere. Well done.
They intersect in the middle, but you can see how the shape of the Earth limits our view of the opposite hemisphere. In contrast, on the flat Earth model, the north is the center, and the south is a ring around it. The stars would have to be arranged in a dome shape over the flat Earth.
Okay, that's what you're pushing, domed flat Earth, okay. Let's carry on with that, okay.
In this model, it makes no sense that people in the north cannot see the southern stars.
And you just debunked your own argument. He's literally got his own field of view there, correct? So, in other words, he can't see past that point.
Yeah, he's showing a field of view of 180, isn't it?
The great protractor. Yeah. Hence, you can't see past that point. You won't see the southern stars because why? The angle is too limited. He's literally just debunked his own argument by putting it on, just like he did with part 1, guys. If you haven't watched part 1, please go back and watch how the guy miserably, from the start, just literally showed it to be flat.
Miserably proves a flat Earth.
Yeah, I say miserably because you could hear it's painful for him. Because he literally says it's flat, but it has to be curved because he believes it to be curved.
I'm just waiting for his reveal to say, like, oh, he's a flat earther, do you know what I mean?
It seems so.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's trolling the globe Earth or something.
Aye.
And vice versa. And it is particularly absurd that people in the outer ring can all see the same southern stars, but not the northern stars at all.
Oh, again, making our claim the same. Field of view. And like we've stated, you literally, did he not just claim a dome over their head?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you have a crystalline or glass dome? Do you have something called internal reflections? And I know when I looking, let's say at the Southern Cross, I look, let's say, southwest, where the people in South America is looking southeast. So we're both looking south, but we're looking south, east, and southwest, just like you would on your globe. Because on your globe, you would still be looking. Let's see if I can draw it out quickly again. File new. Now have to draw a new globe again.
Well, in effect, one of you is looking towards right, towards south.
And one left.
Left, towards south.
These guys,
Both see the same thing.
yeah, they don't understand relative positions. Just like when you try to explain with the road and the cars.
Mm.
They don't.
But, see, in order to prove that, they'd have to chuck in Australia as well. And like you said, Australia is in a different time zone. It's daytime when you're seeing night time. So It's just bunkum. It's just a straw man, I think.
It is. Okay, I'm just going to place it like that. Okay. Let's put in another arrow. Let's say on your globe, South America is looking southeast, correct? Now, South Africa is looking southwest, correct? So here's the stars. Now place that on a flat earth, it's exactly the same. Looking southeast, southwest to the same constellation. It's not hard to understand. And yeah, you require 90 degrees to do that. Hi Rachie, thank you for coming. Glad you can see it. Yeah, New Zealand reported Southern Cross yesterday. Yep, New Zealand's in the south. They're quite close to Australia. So they would see it. But it's really simple. Just like you see, this would be your 3D globe. Now, this would be the same on a flat map. Just the stars would be reflecting off the dome. I don't know how much more simple I can make that.
There should be nothing blocking their view of all the northern stars. Also, consider that on nights when the moon is visible, we all see the same moon running across the sky, everywhere on Earth.
Yeah, but usually it follows the time zone. So, and I do know sometimes it's more visible by me than it is by you guys, or sometimes it's visible by you when it's not visible by me, correct?
Exactly.
Because it moves away from us. This guy doesn't really get what's going on, does he?
No.
I don't think he understands relative position. Let's put it that way.
And we see the stars behind it. This works perfectly fine on the heliocentric model.
And works on your mock-up FE model, just showing the stars are in the dome as you put them, and the moon is inside the dome. So it would be behind it. So let's recap. He says, he shows a field of view and says, why can't you see the southern stars from the north? Literally by showing a field of view dome. Yeah, limited to what you can see. Then put someone in the south saying, oh, I can't see someone in the north. Yeah, because of your field of view. Then he says the stars are in the dome and the moon you can see in front of the stars. Yes, because you literally just have it on depicted here in your model that you placed, and everything you've just depicted on your model literally debunks your argument. And like I stated, from South Africa we see the Southern Cross southwest, where South America sees it southeast. We're looking in the same directions. Them looking at their straw man saying, oh, but we're looking directly south is bullshit. No one stands and looks directly south. You look a bit to an easterly or westerly position southward. Shows you they've never really done these observations themselves. And again, Australia does not see the same time as us in South Africa or South America. The time zones differ too much.
But when you look north from the outer ring of the flat Earth model, there is no logical reason you would not see the northern stars behind the moon. The moon is supposedly close by and circling above near the equator. And you would be looking northward with the moon near the center of the sky. But somehow the northern stars can't be seen? This is...
We already explained it. I don't think we need to explain it again. Wow.
is an insurmountable.
Yeah.
It's in Darrow's comment. I used to data model.
I used to model as a child, guys. I modeled for Jet, for Wimpy. I even did a toilet paper roll modeling. I did quite well. I did even television. I did drama. Those were the days. No. It's not as exciting as everybody makes it out to be.
Failure of the flat Earth model. And it only gets worse for the flat Earth model. The nightly rotation of stars is perfectly explained by the Earth's rotation on its axis. Every night, we see the stars rise and set overhead.
I love how you see he's got the camera set still, remember? And you can see the stars moving overhead, like he says. So not a moving Earth then. Congratulations for once again contradicting your argument. It's moving stars.
They move very slowly, but if you watch for half an hour or so, you will notice them change positions, moving from east to west.
Hey, got that right.
Man. Wow, what a clever guy.
This guy's a flat earther, guys.
Mm.
He has to be a flat earther.
Yeah.
In the northern hemisphere, you will also notice the stars to the north rotate counterclockwise around a central point, called the celestial pole,
Ooh.
very near a star called Polaris. You can easily see this yourself.
Yes.
Look for the Big Dipper, and the end of the dipper always points to Polaris, a relatively bright star. With patience, you can watch the Big Dipper and the other nearby stars rotate around Polaris each night.
Yeah, it's great. The stars are moving, not the ground.
I'll put money on this guy's never ever done that observation himself.
Nope.
Put money.
Yeah, I don't think so. I tell him, he says, who wrote this his script? I have no idea. Probably himself. Because, yeah, I think in models would.
Yeah, it sounds like he's reading Google.
It's crazy. It does. It sounds like someone would take today and go ask ChatGPT to make them a script, something like that.
Yeah.
Very generic, without realizing they're actually contradicting everything they stand for when they speak these words. The stars are moving, or
Why
it
not
looks
go
flat.
outside- Why not go outside with your camera and explain exactly what it's saying?
Yeah.
It's easily, I could go and do it now. I can go outside and find Polaris now.
Yep.
This phenomenon is a favorite subject of professional and amateur stargazers, and you can find many long exposure photographs and
Yeah. 10th Man has done awesome long exposure photographs. 10th Man, if you have a link, would you be able? Well, if someone can get 10th Man's link for his, would be great. You guys can subscribe to his channel. Zoidonator.
Yeah, you're better than me.
Oh man.
time lapses.
Sorry, whose channel?
10th Man.
Just put a 3 dots next to his name, please.
10th Man. Yeah.
In the southern hemisphere, when you look to the south, you also see stars rotate around a point.
Yep. Stars rotate around a point. Great. So stars are moving, not the ground.
They are different stars, and they rotate in the opposite direction. Clock.
Rotate in the opposite direction. Hey Otoro, thank you for coming. Yeah, you guys don't have any brains. Stars don't rotate in the opposite direction. They always rotate east to west. Full stop. There's no exceptions. It's your relative position to the stars. If you are looking south from north, they rotate clockwise. They're still rotating east to west. If you're looking south to north, they are seeming to rotate anti-clockwise, but they are still rotating east to west. Simple as that. It's only your relative position.
Shuro says that you're contradicting.
Where am I contradicting?
Yeah, I'll read it.
The stars are moving. Flat's
Yeah,
contradiction.
moving flats, contradiction. No, that's your buoyant video saying that.
Zoidlander. You see, I'm not doing it right.
Contradictions, Zoid.
Oh man, thank you again all for coming. Really appreciate it. Please do hit that like button and do subscribe if you haven't already. I'm hungry. I'm also actually hungry again.
Wise. There is a star named Sigma Octantis.
You know, where I am now, I cannot even see Sigma Octantis. And it's Sigma Octantis, yeah. and it's very, 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 very faint that you would really literally have to expose for a very long time to even notice it. And it's usually seen further down in South Africa, not more up where I am. Because usually,
you know
like,
what-
especially
you
where
know
I
what
am, the mountains is in the way. Yeah,
You know why sailors use Southern Cross and not Sigma?
yeah.
Just can't see it.
Can't see it. It's a good one. The guys, they make this an arbitrary. Do you guys realize that it's almost like an inverted northern? If you look at the stars, how they're placed, it's almost like an inverted northern star. Like the pointers of the Southern Cross and stuff, they almost make it look like the Big Dipper point to Polaris, just inverted. I don't think anybody's really looked at that before.
Some kind of optical phenomenon.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's
Hey,
like,
Hey, Geometry Wombat.
it's the same direction.
Yep, exactly. Hey, Geometry Wombat, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Yep.
Very near the southern celestial pole, but is
Oh,
not.
that reminds me. Would you guys want to do a stream on Gematria sometime?
On say that again.
On
what?
Gematria. Would you guys like to do a stream on Gematria sometime?
Let's stream on it, but I know nothing about it. I do know it's a bit.
Because I have had people asking me about it, so I think it would be quite a cool stream to actually do.
I'm easy, I'll go for it.
It's a bit freaky, like.
The thing is, do you believe that everything is just contradictions? Coincidences. Do you think all that math and everything coinciding with meanings is all just coincidence, or is it got a meaning to it?
You've got to believe that God doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're guided by God, yeah.
You know, that I can't believe in any kind of coincidence.
Because Gematria sort of gives a inkling that God has a plan and he has everything mapped out with language. Because everything has to have a meaning. And that's practically what Gematria explains, is the meaning in the numbers. And that's why the satanic cults and everything literally use numbers, because that's what their cult's based on, because it's got meaning to it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A very bright star, so it is difficult to see. This apparent spinning of the stars around a north and south axis is perfectly explained by the heliocentric globe model.
Yeah, Earth, let's put it this way. Stars rotating is not globe. It's, sorry, someone's literally feeding back. He
All
said,
of a sudden,
yes, I'm getting feedback. Can hear myself in someone's, okay, it's better now. Okay, but like I said, he said it was stars rotating. Do the stars rotate on the globe model, or does the Earth rotate on the globe model?
that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So when he says the stars are moving and rotating, then that doesn't mean globe model, that means flat.
What he should be saying is the stars are appearing.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas Larson, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Yeah, I mean, and INFE on his channel can also show you the positions of the stars moving over a flat Earth too. So,
I mean, why are we having to correct that Arab ball describes things?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, astrolabes show your visual constellation map moving above us. Has any of these ballers ever gone to a planetarium before? It's literally a flat surface with chairs where you sit and you look on a hemisphere dome and you see constellations moving in the
It's
correct
correct
position.
got in England, like as far as I know. Anyway, I've not heard of one.
But
I'd love to look at one.
it's brilliant. It looks so real. It's like you're looking at the sky.
Yeah, I'd like
And it's
to try
just
that.
they just speed it up.
Yeah. So, but it's accurately modelled, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
accurately modeled, and and you're sitting on a flat floor with seats, looking at a hemispherical dome like your celestial sphere on a flat Earth. So I don't see where the guys don't understand that it's modeled on a flat Earth. Otherwise, a planetarium would not exist. They wouldn't get it to work.
As the spherical Earth rotates on its axis, and our view of the essentially stationary
What the hell,
distant
guys?
stars rotates.
No one's actually telling me we're not seeing the video anymore.
What?
No one's told me we're not seeing the video.
I can't tell you because I'm behind anyway. I don't know what I'm looking at.
I'm so sorry, guys. No one's told me the whole time we're going through this video, and I'm seeing my face now. I'm like, what the hell?
We were watching the video for a bit. I don't even know when that changed.
I'm so sorry, guys. I
You're an
apologize.
accurate representation of a globe model. Come on.
I'm talking about. Oh. Do we have to go back now? Guys, I really apologize. That's a rookie move. I can't believe I didn't. I wish someone told me earlier. It's like
I can't say I'm that far behind me whenever I was playing. I can't tell you what I'm seeing anyway. I'm just going off what you were talking about.
I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. But anyway, because I even drew the circle on the Earth. Did you guys see that at least? Where I was explaining why you would see east, southeast, or southwest. Oh man.
Not just complain, so just roll with it.
Nobody's complaining. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna bring this up again. He says it was only 2 minutes. Okay, it was only 2 minutes. Okay. So you did see southwest, southeast. Okay. Hey, Titalong. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you can make it. He says, got enough time to listen while driving between jobs. And to say thank you, Flats, for all your work. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Titalong, for all your support. I really appreciate you. So you can't see Sigma Octantis from your house? No, I can't because I'm surrounded by mountains, Flataholic. You know, angles are limited to things in my field of view.
Whoa. Flatolic's anonymous. Flatolic's perspective. So you can't see Sigma Octantis from your house, so it does not exist. Don't you know that it's used for navigation and points to the geographic? It's not used for navigation, mate.
No, you don't use Cygnus Octantis for navigation. I can see the Southern Cross, and I use the Southern Cross for navigation if I wanted to. Heck, I can use the Three Sisters for navigation if I wanted to. There's a whole bunch of stars I can use, but I don't need to because I can use the moon or the sun for navigation.
But they use stars that are easily seen.
Yeah, not Sigma Octantis that is very, very faint. Even you do know you have to literally expose for a long time to be able to see it faintly. So yeah.
I love it when ballers talk that.
Yeah, it's because they don't actually know what the hell's going on. And no, I can't see it from my house because I got mountains all around me. So you definitely don't know where I live, so you wouldn't be able to tell me if I can see it or not. 10th Man Rising. We like looking at the only flat earth model that's U-flat, so it's selling toilet paper. Again, I really apologize, people. Next time if you guys do see that, please tell me. I feel like a clown now.
We've been looking at flat zone model all day.
Okay, let's carry on.
Stars to the north and south spin around a point because we are seeing them over the spinning axis of the Earth. Depending on how far north or south you are, some stars stay above the horizon all night long. These are called circumpolar stars, but they are completely different stars in the north and in the south.
And this somehow makes it a globe. How? So we can't have the same type of thing on a flat Earth, which you've literally drawn out just a few minutes ago. I want to go back there. There we go. So, northern stars in the middle, southern stars in the outer edges. There we go. You can only see to your relative field of view, so that's to your maximum you can see. Okay. Oh, where are we? Oh, there we go. It's bringing up again.
To put it simply, it couldn't.
It could.
In any flat Earth model, the stars would have to be arranged in a semi-spherical dome over the flat circular Earth, and Polaris would have to be in the center.
Okay.
And that would seem to explain what we see in the north. But south of the equator, the outer concentric ring in the flat Earth model, now you have huge problems.
Why?
When you look to the south, in South America, in Southern Africa, or
There
in
we go
Australia,
again. What did I say, guys? You don't see them at the same times. When you do see it in the same time zones as South America and South Africa, we look southwest when they look southeast. So we look in the same direction just like you would on the globe. When you're on the globe, you don't look directly south. You don't look directly south. You look southeasterly or southwesterly. This is why showing these people are dishonest or really stupid. Hey, Flat Earth Canada, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you can make it.
you see the same clockwise spinning stars. Yet people
Yes.
in those three locations would be looking in three different directions.
Southeast, southwest, same star location. That is on a total different time zone, so the stars have rotated around to Australia and New Zealand at that time zone. By the time it's night and day there, it's not night or day here. You understand that? Simple stuff. And by the way, stars are still in the day. You just can't see them.
Right.
It's not exposed enough because the sunlight and the daylight overpower it.
When looking to the south, yet somehow they see the same thing. Where could the southern celestial pole and the circumpolar stars be in this model?
Easy. Looking southwest, southeast, and southwest, looking at the same position. Whoopsie. Okay.
Are they in many places at once? No, it simply cannot work.
No, simply showing you are a moron and you don't understand things. Just because you are an idiot and you don't get that you see different positions, aka southwest and southeast is the same directions, doesn't mean it's wrong. It means you're an idiot and you don't get that. I don't know how much more simply I can make that.
Of course, not all three of these distant locations are all in nighttime at the same time.
Ah, so he does know that. So then why was he just claiming that? So he's just literally debunked his own argument he just made a few seconds ago. Again.
Wow.
Look at there. He's showing Australia in the day and us at night. Thank you very much. So not all three at the same time. So again, southwest, southeast, southwest, southeast, looking at the same location. Whoopsie, both looking south at the same time.
But two of them at a time are, and the celestial pole.
Flataholic says absolutely nonsense. Everyone looks directly south to see the geographic South Pole. That is rubbish.
It's rubbish.
You do not look directly south, ever, to see the
There's a
direct
book-
South Pole.
There's a book that tells you all the stars you can use for celestial navigation, yeah?
Yep.
Telling to show Sigma Octantis in that. Please.
If it wasn't cloudy tonight, I would take my phone out now, and I would take the webcam and I would show you, look, I'm looking at the Southern Cross, painting south, and it would be southwesterly, not directly south. Have you ever even been to the south to make this claim, Flataholics? Have you ever made this observation yourself? I highly doubt it. Yes, any evidence that you face southwest or southeast to see Sigma Octantis? Yes, literally.
Where do you live, Jimmy J? Where do you live, mate?
Compass. Okay. Let's see.
I live in North. I can't see none of them things.
You guys are like southwest to me right now.
But I do know that sailors don't use Sigma Octantis because they can't see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
So
can't
use-
see it.
So they use Southern Cross.
I've always used the Southern Cross because you can't see it. Like I said, you can only see it if you use your camera or something and you expose it to be a long exposure, and then it's not even that brilliant to see. It's very faded. Okay, so you were in the south, Fataholic. So would you maybe do us a favor and show us how you look directly south to see it, please? And make sure you see Sigma Octantis, by the way. That would be interesting.
Yeah, let's see a video. Let's see proof. Back
Yeah.
your flame up.
Yep, there is only a North Pole, Alan. I agree.
And circumpolar stars stay visible all night long and are always directly to the south. I know some of you are going to claim that it simply doesn't look like that in the south, and that all images of it are faked.
What? What? Who made that claim? Why do they always have to throw in nonsense claims that no one ever makes?
I'm not asking-
an argument.
Yeah, it's insane.
Asking you to take my word for it. You could go and see it for yourself, but I do recognize that it is not cheap or
Flathead Kenner. Does the Southern Cross travel during the night and disappear? Definitely not. It's always there. In the day, it's also always there. You just can't see it because of the exposure of the light. That's as simple as that.
convenient to travel to the southern hemisphere if you live in the north, and I have never been there myself. But if you were to go, I am extremely confident you will see the southern...
The problem is, Moxie, if they ever said that, they would get arrested for fraud. So they would never do it. I mean, think about it. If someone creates a company and they commit fraud, they're going to carry on committing the fraud and lie, because if they get caught or they come out, would you think they just say, oh, so it's fine. You just said it's fine. You know, you were out and honest with us, so we'll just ignore it. No, they literally get arrested for it. Because they're defrauding the American citizens of a lot of money every single day.
constellations, such as the Southern Cross, and also you will see the stars rotating clockwise around the southern celestial pole. Why am I so sure? Independent confirmation. No scientific claim ever comes from a single observer or a single observation. Science demands that observations are independently confirmed.
Yeah, science demands that you manipulate the IV to get the DV. So where's the science in watching stars rotate? Just watching things rotate, you're just observing it to rotate. There's no science involved. You just literally gathering data on what you see. I see on this day, this is that happening for this long. Therefore, that's what I know is going to happen the next year on that day for that time. It's not science, it's observation. Hi, Tist Account, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Yeah, it's amazing that they think that there's a reason why they would... If someone's lying to you like that and they're committing fraud, they're going to carry on committing fraud because they're making the money out of it. And if they stop it, they're going to get arrested. It's as simple as that. People are always going to lie to cover their tracks. The Southern Cross points to the geographic South Pole. Every kid in the South was taught to do this primary school. The whole point of the Southern Cross is to point south. But it doesn't point directly south, mate, from your position. Ever. Just because the Southern Cross points south doesn't mean you are pointing directly south. Doesn't this guy get that?
And show me Sigma Octantis in Almanac. What
Yeah.
sailors use for stars to navigate with. Show me Sigma in that Almanac.
I would like him to show us Sigma Octantis himself, because I haven't really seen footage of people actually showing Sigma Octantis ever. They show the southern stars going across around like a circumpole, let us say, but there's no Sigma Octantis to be seen. It's sad.
And in this day and age, you can easily get independent confirmation yourself
Yep, they are too deep in, Prof. Hollister.
by finding someone on social media that lives anywhere in the southern hemisphere and asking
I'm
them
here.
what they see at night.
I'm telling you what I see at night. I live in the southern quote, hemisphere, and I'm telling you what I see. It's as simple as that.
Or find any number of independently produced.
You don't know what you're seeing itself, that's right. I live in North. You don't know what you're seeing itself.
No, how dare I? I must be blind or something. But I can tell you what's happening in the north.
Not much, I'll tell you.
Videos of it on YouTube. Of course, people lie and videos can be faked. But if you pick people at random, there is no reason to think they are part of a conspiracy, especially if you don't tell them why you are asking. And the more independent, neutral sources you can find, the less likely it is that they are all wrong or lying. If the stars in the south did not actually appear the way they teach it in all the schools of the world, a great many people would have noticed it, as anyone in the entire hemisphere can look at the stars. There is no way to hide.
You see what I'm saying? Look, the Southern Cross is supposed to be pointing at Sigma Octantis. So that would be pointing south. Is this person looking directly south now? They're just literally putting Sigma Octantis there. It doesn't mean he's looking directly south.
Them. But no one, outside of a few flat earthers, have ever said the stars don't look right in the south. Nearly the entire population of the southern hemisphere would have to be in on a conspiracy, or somehow deluded, if the stars didn't actually appear, as people have been reporting for centuries.
I don't know what this guy's argument is. He said, would we lie about the stars? And I said, no one would lie about the stars, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't get it. We see things rotate counterclockwise. It's always east to west. There's never not east to west. It doesn't matter what shape of the earth is, it's east to west. The only difference is on a flat earth, it's the stars moving. On a globe heliocentric model belief, it's the globe itself moving. And the stars moving. And yet they stay in sequence.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What is the chances of that?
And we see for all these years, we still see the same constellations each every night. You know what I mean? The exact same time.
Well, they got stories that thousands of years ago, Polaris wasn't the North Pole star. How do they validate that? Oh, they can't. They just somehow say, someone said it before, so therefore it has to be. They can't go and validate any of their claims. They just take it on belief, faith.
But there's like things being built thousands of years ago that line up with Orion. That's not moved.
Yep.
So, you know, if Orion's not moved, then neither has that.
And the people that usually believe this crap is ones that don't actually go and observe it themselves. Oh wait, they can't because it takes thousands of years. Just like their beloved evolution takes millions and billions of years to happen.
Yeah, so you can't observe it.
Yeah, but it's claimed to be science.
But we're back to looking at ceiling, aren't we, to measure flow?
Exactly.
You know, stars mean nothing to shape the ground we dwell on.
Exactly.
The Southern Cross.
Oh, that's also a good point. The Earth's core has supposedly reversed again because it does it every 70 years, guys. So, what happens if a magnetic flux, how can I put it, pole reverses? What do you think would happen? Everything would go into turmoil, correct?
Yeah. Won't South Pole become north?
Yeah, everything would literally rotate to the opposite.
In simple logic, like if Earth's cause change direction, then poles should.
Yeah. And we don't see that. It's ridiculous. And yeah, how do you get a magnetic iron core that's past its curry point?
I didn't even know there's an iron core.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
We dug 8 mile down and they can tell us there's a molten iron core that gyrates. You know?
They try and tell you what's inside the core of a star or sun or a planet. You know what I mean?
Flataholics, let me tell you something. Okay, let's say you on the eastern side of South Africa, let's say, yeah, and you have someone on the western side of South Africa. Do they both look exactly south at Sigma Octantis, or do they both look southeast or southwest at Sigma Octantis? Let's see if you can figure that out.
Is actually depicted on the national flags of 5 Southern Hemisphere countries: Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, Papua New Guinea, and Samoa.
Wow, that makes it a globe, guys, because they put it on a flag. Wow.
I'm not asking you to believe me. Either go there yourself or find multiple independent sources to tell you or show you what they...
This guy's making out as like the South doesn't exist. Like you just need people to go to the South. Please just prove it for me, because I can't do it myself.
You see in the sky. Another thing we notice in the real world is that the stars that are near the celestial equator change throughout the seasons. We can see Orion in the winter. In spring, we see the sickle of Leo the lion.
Yeah.
In summer, Scorpius dominates the equatorial sky.
And that is how a globe... I don't understand how that's supposed to be for a globe and not a flat earth. It's seasons, times and seasons, you know.
And the fall brings the great square of Pegasus into view.
Congratulations.
This is explained by the Earth's orbit around the sun. The night side of the Earth rotates around, and thus our nighttime view points outward to different stars. There's no valid explanation for this observation in the flat Earth model.
Carl Apple. Real world shows cartoon. Yeah, exactly.
And this brings up a subject that confuses some flat earthers. They say if the Earth orbits around the sun, why doesn't noon become midnight 6 months later? Why don't the day and night times reverse? The answer is that our system of measuring time already takes the orbit of the Earth around the sun into consideration automatically. Noon is when the sun is the highest in the sky. And
No shit, Sherlock. I like how he's using a sundial explanation here. You know, sort of like it would work with a flat Earth.
the time from one noon to the next noon is divided into a 24-hour day. This is called a solar day. But because the Earth orbits around the sun about 1 degree every day, the Earth actually has to rotate a little bit more than 360 degrees for the sun to be directly overhead at the same place. A full 360 degree rotation in relation to the distant stars is
Hey, Flat Earth and Coffee, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. We should really have you on sometime as a show. Hit me up on email so we can organize something. It'd be great to have you on, mate.
actually a little bit shorter than 24 hours, about 23 hours and 56 minutes. This is called a sidereal day. So that's why noon doesn't become midnight 6 months later. And this orbit around the sun explains why the stars we see at night near the celestial equator change throughout the year. The night side of the Earth rotates around, revealing different stars.
And after you said the stars always rotate with you all the time, so contradicting yourself once again. Guys, I do have a bit of an issue. I have to stop the stream now because I did. Yeah, I'm scared I'm gonna run out of fuel on the Jenny. I only had a bit to run tonight, so I'm glad it's held out so long. Thank you for the stream. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And, well, yeah.
Good.
The guy literally proved flat Earth again.
But yeah, he's a flat earther. Yeah, I'm convinced. I'm convinced he's a flat earther.
That's how I'm supposed to
He's
do it.
a good real video in a few weeks or something. That's it. I was kidding, guys.
So I was thinking tomorrow night, if I don't do that debate with 50 if he's subscribed, because he hasn't got back to me on that, we can do Coriolis with Foucault's pendulum and Etfios effect and all that stuff. You guys up for that?
Why not?
Absolutely, man.
And then this guy's also got more parts we can do next week sometime or whatever we do. Because I also want to still do that one on Dave McKeegan's up and down. I think that would be funny to laugh at. Yeah.
Definitely.
But
Oh, bless you. Jimmy Jazz being on still at you.
Stellarium confirms Stignotantus is south, not southeast from Johannesburg. I'm not in Johannesburg, mate. Okay. So thank you everybody for coming. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you for the super chats, for the likes, dislikes even. That still helps to push the algorithm. Thank you for sharing, and you guys are all awesome. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Many blessings, and may the pressure be with you.